In America now, it's as if we've been so divorced from what Christianity was and what Christianity gave us. People in America, you know, they simply don't know what's in the book, nor do they know the history of Christianity, the terrible impact Christianity had on civilization. And this is particularly true in America. In America, we've been totally removed from our ability to see that the Europe of 500 years ago is virtually identical in many ways to the Afghanistan of the Taliban. Okay? If you want to applaud that, feel free. I heard someone. And today what they say is, well, you know, America is a result of Christianity. America is a Christian nation. How many people in here agree with that? I don't see a lot of hands going up. But they forget that Christianity is no longer a threat to people's lives, to people's happiness, to people's freedom, because it has been tempered by the secular laws that we put in place to keep Christianity away. If Christianity was going to create an American society, a free and independent liberal democracy, it would have done so when Christianity had power. But it didn't. People got on boats, teeny little boats, to cross the Atlantic, knowing that there was a good chance they were either going to die on the way here or die shortly after, to get away from the civilization that Christianity had created. And yet, they will say that Christianity built this country, that America is a Christian nation. But look at this country's founding document, the Constitution. This is what they're completely missing. When Christians had power, did they think, you know, it's probably a good idea for us to separate religion and politics? Did they do that? No. When Christians had power, were they free? Were they interested in the free exercise of religion? No. When Christians had power, did they guarantee free speech? Did they guarantee freedom of the press? Did they guarantee freedom to assemble? Due process? Is the concept of a fair trial a Christian principle, an ideal? No, they didn't practice that when they had power. The rights of the accused, were they concerned about that? No. Were they against cruel and unusual punishment? Torquemada didn't seem to think so, nor do some people recently. I don't want to name names. And, you know, Richard has this, there's a great little video on YouTube where Richard is asked, what if you're wrong? And I don't know if everyone's seen it in here. It's such a great answer. He says, well, what if you're wrong? You know, people, they see things so narrowly. They don't see that, well, yeah, I could be wrong. Zeus could be the guy that I'm really supposed to be going for. I had this idea of Mr. Deity saying to people, were you a Christian? Okay, you're going down. Because what I'm really looking for is not people who follow like sheep, but people who think for themselves and do the right thing without the threat of hell. But I think there's another answer equally as powerful. What I would say to the Christian who says, what if you're wrong? I would say, well, there's one thing that we do know, and that is you were wrong. You were wrong because when you had power, you did not create a free society that cared about people's freedoms and their rights. You created tyranny. And what I'm trying to show in Mr. Deity, what I want to be able to do with this series is to make people think, rethink about these things. There are conversations that, if their idea of a God is true, there are conversations that would have had to go down. Like, what evils are we going to allow in the universe? Well, okay, Holocausts. You heard some of the list there in Mr. Deity and the Man, ended with Celine Dion. That to me is one of the toppers. There are conversations that people don't think about. There are conversations like this one we just had, where a virgin is going to be killed And Mr. Deity says, well, you know, if she's not a virgin, what are you going to do? That is the God of the Bible, okay? We've divorced ourselves from those bad things. We pick and choose. We take the good stuff. And quite frankly, there's not that much good stuff left because the bad stuff is so overwhelming. The idea that anyone who doesn't believe as you believe is going to burn in hell for the rest of forever is probably the worst idea in the history of mankind. Now, thank you.